Anti-poem, Zounds, by Daniel Scott Batten. Ad rem, my friend, Cretan like a Gaetulian dildo. Or was it a Cimbrian hymnal that Icarus spoke a hungry and sacked, like a dingy proverb and verb too terse for chisel and admiration? Sa and Ra, or is it Ra, Ra, Ra? Had the reposal restemmed and hemmed, in Runyon, Roth, and Zounds, pound for a single-rounded hound. Reader's Review, Anti-Poem, Zounds, by Daniel Scott Batten, with glosses for the brave and curious. Daniel Scott Batten's Zounds is a linguistic explosion, a hymn book torn and reassembled with satire, myth, and feral instinct. This is anti-poetry that dances on the grave of coherence while summoning the ghosts of ancient tribes and literary blasphemies. Let's walk through some of its rogue brilliance. Ad rem, my friend, Latin for to the point, an ironic beginning for a poem that soon veers delightfully off course, a wink toward rhetorical discipline before shattering it. Cretan like a Gaetulian dildo, Cretan, referencing Crete, land of the Minotaur and Daedalus, a place already thick with myth and misdirection. Gaetulian, from an ancient North African tribe, exoticized in Roman writings. Dildo, yes, that word. Here, Batten likely means it both literally and symbolically, something used, ornamental, perhaps absurd in context. The phrase becomes a tangle of identity, function, and farce, a wild comparison that resists total decoding. Cimbrian hymnal. The Cimbri were an ancient European tribe known mostly through Roman writings. Their name here paired with hymnal suggests a pagan liturgy, something fierce, pre-Christian, and half lost to time. That Icarus spoke a hungry and sacked, a delicious reversal. Icarus, mythic faller, cast as a prophet mid-fall. Spoke a hungry conjures desperation, and sacked could mean both ruined and plundered. This Icarus isn't just falling, he's speaking in tongues on the way down. Like a dingy proverb and verb, too terse for chisel and admiration. This line is pure metapoetics, a proverb that resists being carved in stone, language too slippery for reverence. Batten's work is anti-epigraph, poetry against being immortalized. Sa and Ra, or is it Ra, Ra, Ra? Sa and Ra might evoke Egyptian divinities, Ra, the sun god, and Sa, associated with protection. But the flip into Ra, Ra, Ra turns divine invocation into cheerleader chant, another blend of sacred and absurd, perhaps making paganism as absurd as the fallen nature of Icarus, as the next line expostulates. In Runyon, Roth, and Zounds, Runyon, an old insult for a woman, sometimes implying loose or grotesque. Roth, archaic spelling of wrath, but made strange again here. Zounds, a minced oath, short for God's wounds. A cry of shock or revelation, here used as both punctuation and exclamation. Pound for a single rounded hound. A final flourish of rhythmic absurdity, circular logic, bestial currency, or poetic justice. Interpret as you dare. Conclusion, this is poetry as relic, riddle, riot. The references aren't meant to be neatly unpacked. They're meant to haunt the reader, echoing somewhere between ancient tongues and modern irony. Batten has conjured a scripture that slips through the reader's fingers while lighting them on fire.